So what's going on with Diddy and these raids? No idea. I think it's more likely to be related to drugs rather than sex trafficking. I don't see why he would get involved in sex trafficking if he's had loads of partners that are willing um, and yeah, I don't know. I don't I don't know what's going on there. But I feel like it's related. I'm wanting to relate everything to me. My own issues and my own problems are so bad that I can't get past that. I'm linking a lot of most things to me, and I can't help but thinking, I'm thinking that something's gonna might happen at Passover. Christ gets arrested at Passover just for the Passover thing. Okay, technically it was Jesus. Jesus isn't actually Christ, but in ways I can relate to him. And the screen is frozen. So I don't know. If I don't know. I noticed that they put in handcuffs Justin and King. I didn't know he has a son called King, but anyway, and I didn't even know he had a son called Justin. But it's interesting how Justin Bieber is my Jesus representative, and um, you know if this is all a setup just to get publicity. I don't know if he would go this far. I mean, technically, no one knows unless other than the people involved in the situation and the media or the YouTube media are going kind of crazy over it. But it is interesting how Justin and King were in handcuffs, and Justin Bieber represents my Jesus representative. Jesus represents the average person, so um, Justin Bieber in a way represents the average person, and um, Diddy is the the angel of God the Father. But his negative name is people who kind of represent people who worship God the Father. So, angel of the people who worship God the Father, and God the Father, sacrifices his son and stuff, and they so his son in handcuffs, Justin, who's like Justin Bieber because the same name, the name is the same as his, um, and the other son called King. I mean, people think that Jesus is king. They put a sign on his head saying King and stuff. So I just feel like, and it happening just before Passover. I think Jesus was arrested 3 days before Passover, so it was technically Wednesday, and this happened on Monday. Might have been Sunday, but I heard about it on Monday. So yeah, but I don't know. I feel like it relates to what I'm going through because I'm just constantly trying to look at signs and evidence for when people who know about me are going to come and talk to me. You know, I said that Kanye West represents Jesus, but the Black Jesus, e.g., the negative name being Jesus with mental illness, and yeah, ever since I said that, he lost his $1 billion contract with a lot of his promotion companies, um, and he's split up with his family, and no one likes people with mental illness, and so it feels almost like they've damned him because they are trying to they're hearing me, they're hearing what I'm saying, they're hearing that all these things represent different things, and no one wants mentally ill people to be on earth because they it's not good. Some mental illness is fine. If you have a mental illness that believes Britney Spears is sane when really she's not, that kind of mental illness is tolerable. But yeah, mental illness that's like proper mental illness is not tolerable because if you're just going to become a burden to the rest of society and just live off tax and do stupid things and and also make people hate God as well because they're going to be like, well, why are all these mentally ill people coming? Is God doing this? And reality is, I think the Matrix is just struggling to find souls, hence is bringing back stupid souls, and these souls are not able to function as well as intelligent souls. And I think maybe it affects the brain. I think there are some, I don't know, I think there's studies that bipolar is a mental, is a brain, it's like a physical condition, but I don't really know. I don't know these things. I just know that if if it comes off as a brain thing, it's probably more that the Matrix is struggling to find souls and then deliberately creating these problems in people. You know, my sister has mental illness too, but she's trying to buy a really expensive third house that she doesn't have the money for, get a £250,000 mortgage on it, and she's doing it because she's bored, and she's pregnant and going to have a third baby in a month, a baby that might get taken away by social services because the other one was, and she's still trying to, it's just, that's not mental illness, that's stupidity. It's her being very stupid and just thinking, I'm going to put up the wrong things first. It's not actually mental illness, it's stupidity. But I think because doctors want to make money out of medication, they diagnose people with things and then say, here's some medication to fix it. Oh, you've got a cure for depression, here we go, some pills. No, if you're depressed because you hate the world and you hate the people and you hate your family, giving you some pills is not going to change anything, because you're still going to have horrible fat family, you're still going to live in a horrible world, you're still not going to have all the things that you wanted, and you're still going to be thinking negatively. Pills cannot make a person think positively. And I've been trying to think positively, and it's just led me to nothing. And I'm getting stressed out because what happens if nothing happens? Passover is supposed to be this Friday, Saturday. If nothing happens, then what date am I waiting for? I'm not actually seeing any signs of anything going to happen. The only sign that I am seeing that something might happen is this potential raid on Angel of God the Father. Are they going to pretend that they found evidence of sex trafficking and then, oh look, it's me, the one who's been used as some sort of daily sacrifice for 11 years? And you listen to the music, and I'm 100% convinced that loads and loads of people know. Kanye West did an interview recently, and he clearly comes off very mentally ill, so he's obviously playing the role of his character very well. Or is it just that he is generally mentally ill? I don't know. But bipolar people always change their mind, and I've seen loads of interviews where people are talking about how he was saying that he's a god, and none of them seem to pick up on, actually, this is exactly what mentally ill people do. They have a change of mind every 10 minutes. They can be like 100% for Jesus 1 minute, and then 10 minutes later, or just have a brain freeze, and then afterwards completely change their tune and start calling themselves a god. This is exactly what mentally ill people do. So did he say that he is a god because he's bipolar and this is what bipolar people do? Why when people are talking about his interview, why do they never say that, oh, he's obviously got bipolar people change their mind a lot? You can call it a mental illness, but I also think in a way it's like a split personality almost. You can have like lots of different personalities. I think that's there's, I can't remember what the name is, split personality. There's a paranoia or schizophrenia. Bipolar is linked to schizophrenia, and schizophrenia is sort of joint personalities. And if him going from being supportive to Jesus to then saying that Jesus actually sometimes doesn't respond, to then him saying that he is a god, and that he makes his own sort of will and controls his life and stuff. This is it's perfect trait for a kind of schizophrenic trait where you have completely different views every 10 minutes. But it's weird how people would talk about him, but they would never bring up that actually what he's saying is just typical of people that with sort of schizophrenia or a bipolar type moods. But I believe that if a person's soul is smart, they can control this. And because Kanye West was very successful at one point, it makes me think, is this just an act? Is all of this just an act? And I don't know what to believe, and I don't know what's going on with Diddy. Is this all just an act? I don't know. I mean, if you're trying to convince people that that I was going to go into some sort of fake sacrifice, but I don't know if I even want to promote the idea of a fake sacrifice, because I'm so angry at people for ignoring me for such a long time that I hate them, and I hate this world, and I don't think I want to even pretend to like people. I want to go on to, even if I'd want to go on television and say, yeah, I'm the god of this world, but you don't actually want me, you never have, just let the media say Jezebel's here, and I don't give a shit. I don't want to be seen. I don't want to have anything to do with anything. You had 11 years to help me, and you've all refused.